Yes, yes, yes. You are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. What number are we on? I think it's Boxing Talk with Rafi 248. Okay. We're whizzing through those numbers, stacking them up on top of each other. Yeah. Getting them out, getting that product out to market. Okay. So, where are we? Where are we? Let me just fix up my screen and then we'll introduce this darn thing properly. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Let's get this. Yeah, get that nice. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it's the Boxing Talk with Rafi 248. And what is the menu for the night? Well, first of all, thanks everybody for joining me, both now and in the future. Okay, so on the menu tonight, we have the words of SugarHill Steward, trainer of the one Luke Tyson Fury. And he had some very, very interesting things to say, and we are going to get into it. Where are we? Where's the headline? Where is the headline? Headline is, which I will share with you very shortly, Joshua is very dangerous, is a very dangerous package. It's going to be a tough fight. Why don't I share that right now? Come on. There's no excuse for laziness. Let's stop sharing that and start sharing this. Boom, boom, boom. Hopefully, you should be seeing that on your screen. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And what else are we doing? What else are we doing? Oh, that's right. We're looking at, where is that thing? Where is that window? Is that window still open? No. Okay, well, we're going to get to that window in a moment. Okay, we're also looking at the words.
No, is that window still open?
Damn.
No.
Impromptu sound check. Yeah, we're going to go into the words of Eddie Hearn. He had some things to say about the deal getting signed, the deal for Undisputed. So we're going to be looking at the words of Eddie Hearn. And let's have a look at what we're doing in the meantime. Boom. Well, let's share that. That's first things first. Second thing, let's get the link out to the chat. Okay, let's drop that in there like so. Boom, boom, boom. I'll also pin that. Okay, so let me find that thing. Let me find Eddie Hearn's words. What's going on? What's going on? Let's go into history. Let's pull this up. Okay, there it is. Let's have a listen. Let's line this thing up.
The date and the period of which we want to get this done by. Don't forget, this fight is due to take place in June.
Ha ha. That's a good one. Hold on.
Dates, because we saw Mark Grable about this 28-day period. That's the date.
Okay, so we're going to be sharing that. Hopefully that'll be okay. No copyright issues. So let me line this up and then let's do the roll call. First things first. Let's line this thing up like so. Okay. I think we're good. Right, so. Okay, right. Let's do the roll call. Let's do the roll call as we get into this thing. Let me pin that first. Boom. Okay, so the link has been pinned. Now, let's do the roll call before we get into this thing. Okay, so We have up in the building, we have the Lisa Bales. Yes, yes, yes. What's going on? Who else we got? Activate warp drive. Warp drive activated. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Philip Carl Roberts in the building. The Wizard Sleeves. Who else we got? The Wizard Sleeve. We got the H. Mo Nai in the building. And the Marla. Stephen 47, 22. Okay, so. Yes, yes, yes. Who else is up in here? Have I missed anybody? Don't think of. Oh, the Boxing Lobster. Shizzle and Shiznicks up in here. And in comes the Iron Kong, as well as the BG London. Order in the courtroom. Okay, link is in the chat. And let's get crack a lacking. Okay, so where is start? We're gonna start off with the words of Eddie Hearn. You know, oh yeah, let me set this thing up properly. You know, I think it was the last live. When was that? Monday night? Where are we now? Wednesday? Is this Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Let me just check. Yes, Wednesday, the 17th of March, 2021. Okay, so I think it was Monday. I went live last time. And Monday evening, pretty sure it was. And, you know, it kind of tailed off at the end of the show. I mean, it was a fantastic show, by the way. Fantastic show. You know, towards the end, you know, with the skepticism about the Joshua Fury fight, the skepticism, oh, there's 101 reasons why it won't get made. You know, that was a little bit of a downer, But, you know, thought about it. And then I heard this interview with Eddie Hearn. You know, people thought, oh, yeah, but they got 28 days. They got 28 days to make it. Oh, the time pressure. It's a crunch. It's a time crunch. Yeah, Boxing Lobster, you need to pay up as well, mate. You need to pay up as well. Your yak face. Okay. So, yeah, so Eddie Hearn comes out. Why is it the best fighters from the UK always come to America looking for a trainer? Well, that's not true, is it? I mean, you know, look at Anthony Joshua. He's got one of the best resumes in boxing right now. And he's not in America. He's over here in the UK. Tyson Fury. Yeah, Tyson Fury is employing the use of SugarHill Steward, and very wisely, very sensible. You get the best person for the job, regardless of nationality, boundaries, borders, principalities, fake borders. You know what I mean? Don't watch the borders, bro. Okay. So, yeah, what we saying? Yeah, but then, you know, I thought about it and I thought, nah, come on. The 28 days, that's just something that's in there to spur on, to give the time frame for these people who are bidding, who are offering sites. Yeah, these people who are bidding to host the event at their site, they need a time frame. So this 28 days that's got people all up in arms thinking, oh, it's 28 days, it's not gonna happen. No, the 28 days is just something to give a structure to those bidding, those venues bidding, to host the thing. That's just to give them a structure. Yeah. So, and Eddie Hearn's going to talk about that in a second. What's going on over here? Isn't Joshua going to train with Mayweather for the Fury fight? Is you crazy, T. White? Is you crazy? Mayweather will, Mayweather could come in with a few points of view, give him a telephone call, but Joshua has his team firmly established. But if Mayweather wants to, chip in with a word here or there, I'm sure, that's no problem. That's no problem. But I think Joshua's team is, he's got a team he wants. Maybe he can give him defensive pointers. Who knows? Who knows what Mayweather will be able to impart? Maybe he'll be able to impart something. There's no harm in listening. There's no harm in, having a cup of tea, having a chat over a cup of tea. That's not a problem. Okay. Right. Mayweather can fix Joshua's bad balance. I think you've yet to establish. I think I've yet to hear an argument from you which establishes that he's got bad balance. Okay. What's going on? Mayweather confirmed he will be working with AJ. Okay, Vizo in the building. Ain't seen or heard of Vizo in a while. Okay. His return, the return of Vizo. He's confirmed. Yeah, like I said, working with him. How are you defining working? How are we defining working? Telephone call here and there. He wants to fly in the Air Force One or whatever. Why not? Why not? But, he's got a few words here and there. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, I don't see a problem with, where's AJ's bad balance? Where's his bad balance? What's that all about? JD's is up in the building. AJ's balance is good. Joshua's balance didn't look too bad in the second fight. In Ruiz, he moved very, very well. AJ's balance isn't bad in my opinion. I never noticed. Yeah, I never heard about this. Yes, Vizo up in here. Good to see you back, my friend. We sent out a search party looking for you to no avail. Even the Bloodhounds couldn't find you. I don't know where you've been, but hope all is well. Mayweather was ringside at the Pulev fight. He was indeed. What is this? Want proof of Joshua's bad balance? Go watch his last. T. White already on the mushrooms. Keep that Napoleon complex narcissist out of the camp. A conversation is cool, though. Yeah, a conversation is cool. Yes, we have all watched his fight. We're all very familiar with his fight, Mr. T. White, a.k.a. Fight Doctor. AJ since 29 has been running a lot. His balance is much better. Okay, so we nicely warmed in. Let's go into this. There it is. So I think the music is about to drop when the beat drop. 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay. Collaborate and listen. Let's get this is terribly low volume. I remember this clip. Let me turn the master volume up because that is very, very low. Okay, so these will be the words. These are the words of Eddie Hearn in an interview he did earlier on. So I'm using these sound bites, these clips for news purposes, news and information and analysis. Thank you.
Date in the period of which we want to get this done by. Don't forget this fight is due to take place in June, early July. So naturally there's going to be a time limit on trying to get this done. And there has been a number of talks taking place behind the scenes over the last week or two with sites and venues because of that time frame. So we will be talking to sites and venues. Team Fury will be talking to sites and venues, and collectively we'll both present these to the fighters and present them with the best opportunities and options for this fight.
Boom, boom, boom. Let me turn the master volume back down. We're good now. Okay. We're back. Okay. So, music sounds all extraordinarily low. Anyway, I want to change the track. Anyway. So, let's go in here and yes. Okay, so we're good now. Okay, so those are the words of Eddie Hearn. What did Eddie Hearn have to say? Eddie Hearn said that, the reason the 28 days is there is just so that the venues, they have a time frame. They have a time frame within which they know that they got to get the best bidding. So all that weeping, all that wailing of yesterday or the day before, or maybe even yesterday as well, or whenever, all that weeping and wailing, oh, what about 28 days? Forget about it. 28 days is not a problem. That is merely a framework, a time frame to let the venues know when they need to get their bidding. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find another clip from Eddie.
Look, ultimately, everybody's got to be happy with the venue deal.
This is good. Hold on. Let me share this as well. And stop the track. Now let's go. Let's listen to Eddie Hearn. Hold on. No, that's wrong. There we go. Boom. That's better. Okay. Eddie Hearn.
Be happy with the venue deal and the date. Just roll with it. Look, ultimately, everybody's got to be happy with the venue deal and the date. But, again, we wouldn't have gone through this process if all parties didn't want this fight. So now it's the job. This isn't really that much of a conspiracy or a big deal. It's just ultimately we wanted to get this fight agreed. We've got the fight agreed. We've had numerous site offers. Now we've got the fight agreed. We can go and close one of them and present it to the fighters. They both want this fight desperately. It's not, no one's looking at excuses here of why this shouldn't happen. Yes, as Bob pointed out, we're in a global pandemic and there might have been an easier time to do this fight, or it may have been easier to delay it. We don't want to delay it. No one wants to delay it. Now's the time, the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. So we'll go and do our work now.
Boom, boom, boom. There was a lot of talk about the 28 days, but now, hopefully, now you can see that's simply a framework. It's a framework, mate.
For every approach we've had from various sides, but it's quite an arduous task going through those approaches because there's often in territories where we don't have representation or we don't actually know who pulls strings where. But ultimately, we have to explore that, and I didn't want to go through that process until we knew we had a fight. So yes, of course, we've staged an extremely successful fight with Saudi Arabia before. It was a wonderful experience. They're interested in hosting this fight. Of course they are. It's the biggest fight in boxing. It's the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. But there are multiple territories in the Middle East that want to stage this fight, and 4 additional territories outside of that who have made approaches. So
there are multiple territories interested in this fight. Multiple territories want to host this fight.
Now's the time to have those proper conversations and report back to the fighters.
Boom, boom, boom.
Usyk against Joyce for the interim.
Hold on, don't want to talk about that yet.
Now, I'll confirm with Fury's team that they...
Okay, so at this point, at this juncture, Eddie Hearn explains the mix-up. Eddie Hearn explains the mix-up yesterday or the day before, or I think it was yesterday. Frank Warren came out and said he was a bit upset. He was a little bit miffed, a little bit peeved that Eddie Hearn broke the agreement, and he went out by himself and announced the fight by himself. Frank Warren says he's a bit miffed because it should have been a joint released statement. But he said Eddie Hearn jumped the gun, said it without the coordination, without coordinating. So Eddie Hearn addresses that matter here, right now on Raphael Dawkins, Combat Radio. Let's go, Eddie.
They were happy for that to be mentioned. There wasn't an announcement. I confirmed with Fury's team that they were happy for that to be mentioned. They were. So that's what we did. It wasn't a case of me tweeting or a press release. It's on. No, it was just, I've heard that you've all signed now. Is that correct? Yes, we have signed. We're now moving forward to confirm the date and the venue. And, I think we should celebrate it. From our side, myself.
That's what I was saying yesterday. We should celebrate it. We should celebrate it.
Anthony, 258 management have worked really hard to get this done. So we have still got work to do. But how good is it that everyone's put pen to paper? No one can be accused of not trying to get this done from our side, from their side. We've both sides have worked really hard to try and deliver this. And now we've got to go up and finish the job.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that was great. Okay, let's get the music back and let's get this thing crack-a-lacking. Okay, so we'll come out of that and let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in the chat. And let me check over on the YouTubes. Yes, everything is as it's supposed to be. Okay, let's have a look at what people are saying. I love JD's says, I love Hearn's positivity making the fight. Yes. What's going on here? Yeah, smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that share button. Hit all of the good buttons. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what's going on. Understanding of the pivot. Mayweather will help AJ with the understanding of the pivot and how to take away Fury's strengths and disrupt his plans. That's a lot of shizniks. You got a lot of You got a lot of hopes. You got a lot of hopes and plans about what Mayweather can do in a few months' time. Hey, I'm not doubting it. But hopefully he's got people in camp working on all of those things. Hopefully. AJ's been said to be being very thorough. He's being very thorough with this one. Okay. Gonna be in the Middle East. That's my best bet. They're not dependent. They're not solely dependent on what they make on this. They'll be looking to use this opportunity. I guess, what is it? Bahrain? Saudi, wherever. They'll be looking to use this as a shop window. For them being a destination, a tourist destination over there in Saudi, Abu Dhabi, over that region. They're looking to advertise themselves as a tourist region, obviously, when all of this pandemic shizniks eventually, hopefully, fades out sooner rather than later, hopefully. Okay. While the fanboys still crying, they're still crying. I've been off the webs. I've been off the boxing webs yesterday. I put the work in, and then I have to relax, let it go, and then focus on other stuff. Is Rafi the busiest man in showbiz? Okay, so yeah, I step away yesterday. No boxing, pretty much no boxing. Minimal. Watch some documentaries. Watch the documentary. Watch a couple of podcasts. You know, you just need to step away and enrich yourself with some other shiznicks, other topics. Okay, where will the fight be? Yeah, I'm thinking over there in the Middle East. That's the best. That's my best guess rather. That's my best guess. And in comes the man like the Iron Kong. The Iron Kong. How do you do?
Yeah, I cool, Rafi. Just letting you know that it's 8 degrees Celsius in the Outer Hebrides. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, my friend. I'm doing good. It's hectic over here, but we got the thing to market. That's the main thing. We got the thing to market, and damn, I forgot. We haven't even gotten to the main topic yet. I got so focused on the Eddie Hearn news, and the Eddie Hearn news is Iron Kong. That everybody should stop panicking. You know, the people who are panicking, the people who are worrying, stop worrying, stop panicking. We've got all the signatures, and now we're just selecting the best venue and the best offer. Iron Kong.
I agree. I mean, I think Eddie Hearn just put that out there to, get, wet the tongue a little bit, get people salivating a little bit, get people talking about the fight preliminarily. And now we're just going to do the work. We have all the signatures. Now we're just doing the final stuff to wrap up everything. Frank Warren need to calm down, tell the pig farmer to stand down. It's okay. You won't need him. And just work continues to finalize the venue.
Yeah. But everybody was worried. Everybody was panicking. Everybody, oh no, the naysayers in the last few days have been out in force.
Don't mind them, Rafi. Don't mind them, Rafi. A lot of people don't want this fight to happen.
They don't want it to happen.
A lot of people don't want this fight to happen. Weirdly enough, because of their own fanboyisms and their own ridiculous biases and all that nonsense, And some people, even there's some Joshua fans, there's some Fury fans, who really, to be honest with you, some of them, I think that's a very, very, very small amount would prefer the fight don't happen because they don't want to see their favorite fight to lose, because one of these two will lose.
Yeah, well, you must be right. There must be some, but I think primarily, I think it's maybe what is the biggest group? What is the biggest group of fans who don't want this fight to happen? In your estimation, your guess.
Wilder fans.
Well, there we go. That's the biggest constituency who don't want this thing to happen. If there are some worried Joshua fans and some worried Wilder fans, I can understand that. But ultimately, curiosity.
Trust me, there's a lot of worried Fury fans.
Well, yeah.
If you see these people backing on social media, I mean, it's the most insecure lot you've seen in a while. I'm like, they're making up all these stories.
Wow.
I saw some dude say Joshua has bad balance. I'm like, bad balance? Well, y'all been watching.
That was the one and only fight doctor who came out with that little gem.
Bad balance. All
the complaints I've heard about Joshua,
bad balance wasn't one of them.
Bad balance wasn't one of them. And in all the times that we've hosted the Fight Doctor live on the show, bad balance was never one of the complaints. So I would like to know from the Fight Doctor, where did this latest excuse come from?
I would like to know, because I saw Joshua doing pull counters in his last fight. I'm like, bad balance.
Where did the bad balance come from all of a sudden?
You're a Deontay Wilder fan. You're talking about bad balance? What? Stop.
OMG.
Easy.
OMG. This is crazy, yo. Shizzle is crazy, yo. Just waiting for the Fight Doctor to come on in and tell me what the hell is going on. Jalik the leader is up in the building. They can have the fight in Texas Cowboy Stadium. They could do it there. I ain't got a problem with that.
Nobody wanna Ain't nobody want to fight no big in no big American COVID stupor.
Well, apparently they ain't got no COVID down in Texas. That's what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
okay.
Apparently it's a COVID-free zone.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's probably best the crowd stay away. It's probably best everybody stays safe. What's going on? Qatar is a possibility. I like the Crawford Spence fights. but AJ Fury is the biggest fight in boxing. Absolutement. What else did I saw an interesting comment? A second ago. Have I gone past it? I think I may have. Let me scroll back just a little. Oh, yeah, there it is. The latest narrative is Crawford Spence is bigger than AJ Fury. Have you heard that one? I've heard that one somewhere. Have you heard that one?
Yeah. All of a sudden now, these people are taking the word of Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith, two people who I don't want telling me anything about combat sports.
Right.
You know, so apparently they which is strange because Tyson Fury is an ESPN broadcasted fighter. And they should be hyping Tyson Fury because they were doing that. You know, it was Max Kellerman and them who were aiding and abetting this whole lineage championship fraud thing. So it's weird that they're not hyping this fight more and they're putting Crawford versus Spence, which would be a simple unification and not undisputed at the moment.
Yeah.
Over this fight. I mean, since when has the heavyweight undisputed crown not been the biggest fight? It's just ridiculous. That's foolishness.
Utter nonsense, tomfoolery, ridiculousness. It's a joke thing.
Nonsense, man.
Yeah, straight nonsense. But it has to be London. Please, Eddie. Well, I don't know. Wembley. What is this? So after all this, has Wilder moved for money? After all this, has Wilder moved for money? That's a great point. I've got a piece that I want to do. It's going to take a little bit of putting together. The ref is going to have to piece it together, do a little bit of editing and whatnot to get it done. But I've got a piece on that very, very topic. Expect me to drop that in video form. Where are we now? Yeah, before Friday. So expect that video to drop when I discuss Wilder's situation with the step aside and all that malarkey. I know that in some places, in certain quarters, we know the quarters I'm referring to. They're talking about Wilder is gonna. I really should have lined. I should do it now, shouldn't I? I really should do it now. And in comes the man like Jalik, the leader. Jalik, how are you today?
Raphael, what's poppin', man? Wilder's #1 fan. Shout out to my man Iron Cone representing getting St. Kitts, right?
yeah, Jalik. What's going on?
I got a high school diploma, so I don't really know like everywhere is. I get confused with the UK and Ireland. I get confused with the different islands and stuff. So, excuse my high school diploma, U.S. education.
Well, that's okay. That's okay, man. You're on point. What up, Chief?
Yeah. It's all good. Talk to me, Jalik. Talk to me. We heard from Eddie. Just heard from Eddie Hearn. What's the panic? What's the panicking about? We've got the contracts. What's with all the naysaying? We got 28 days. We put 28 days in. That wasn't imposed on us by anybody else. We put the time frame of 28 days in to get the deal, to get the venue locked in. They did it. Nobody did it to them. They did it so that the venues have a framework to know what to work to.
It's smart on Eddie's hand to kind of like force the needle. It's like it was smart for Tyson Fury to mention Wilder in this sense, because if you notice, the day after, ironically, as soon as he said it, then Eddie Hearn came out and said his thing. So it's like a mental battle to see negotiating. That's kind of how you got to do negotiating.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that we already in March. We at the 17th. So literally in 2 weeks, it's gonna be April. Now, a few weeks ago, I was like, man, if they don't announce this by April, this might not gonna happen. As much as I want to be optimistic, I'm like, bro, I understand what's going on, but I understand it's money. But sometimes you can be a little bit too greedy. You might have to leave 10 million on the table if it's going to require now, because you never know what can happen, man. Like an accident, a cut, an injury. Sometimes you might have to lose. In this case, you might have to leave 10 or 20 million. Now, that's easy for me to say, but 10, 20 million, that's a lot of money. So, but we know how those people are. Tyson Fury has a lot of people in his corner that he has to pay. So they trying to nickel and dime. And in certain negotiations, you can't do that, man. I'm telling you, when you're greedy and try to control everything, you can lose it all. So if Texas already said that they can do it, talk to Jerry Jones, have it there. They're gonna have a rematch, and then try to and that will set you up to do the most pay-per-views. Because I seen an interview. They said it's not gonna be on the zone in the US, which I kind of figured because they would lose a lot of money. It's gonna be on ESPN pay-per-view. Okay. So they can market it. Just have it in Texas. Now the thing about it is I don't know if the UK are y'all allowed to fly. Now I was also looking at Michael Coppinger's interview on IFL TV. That's why I was like, man, he said the arbitration with Wilder is still going on. See, this certain stuff that we really don't even know what's going on. So everything is like speculating. So that's why I said if the fight does happen, it's going to be between July and September. But it's crazy, man. Boxing can't be affording to do this because it's like Usyk is dangerous, man. Usyk is underrated. I got AJ beating him, man, but you just can't be playing. And you definitely can't be playing with Slow Joe, man. I mean, he's slow, but he has timing. He takes a lot of wear and tear on your body. He's athletic. I forget what I always forget the name, the British martial arts that he practices.
No, it's Brazilian. Capoeira. Brazilian.
Capoeira, yeah. So he literally can beat Tyson Fury and he can beat AJ. He might knock AJ out. So if he beat him and then boom, I see that's why you gotta quit playing, man. But the thing about it is they also going up and certain things I ain't gonna say because you know with the new thing now they flag you. So certain thing I'm not even gonna say about that, but we know what's going on with that.
The pandemic.
It's a lot of collusion and different things. So if they let this, then they would have to because there's certain things that's not happening that they have in Saudi, right? Like horse racing and race car driving. So if they let this one go, then so it's a lot of things that's going on that we not even seeing. But man, it's just boxing is there. But somebody said Earl Spence was and Crawford is bigger than this fight.
Yeah.
Who said that?
There's been certain quarters from your side of the pond.
Come on, bro. See, there you go, man. What's up? Have you been to the U.S.? What happened to you? You had a U.S. girlfriend and she dumped you over Skype?
You asked me who said it, bro, and I'm telling you who said it.
Always come at U.S. crazy, man. I think
you asked me who said it, bro. You asked me who said it. You asked me who said it. I have to tell you. Asked me,
you
bro.
had a U.S. girl.
You asked me, bro. You asked me who said it. You asked me who said it. I told you who said it, and now you don't like who said it, bro. I have to tell you, bro. I have to tell you who said it.
AJ is big, man. AJ is big. It's not now from a diehard standpoint. It possibly is, especially it is from a diehard standpoint. But from a global sales, there's not. But from a diehard, but it's starting.
Even diehards want to see. You want to see who the heavyweight king is.
Now they do, but it's something.
Everybody wants to see. No, everybody wants to see who the heavyweight king is.
Diehards
and the casuals.
The weight is big too, though, right?
Sorry. What?
What the weight is big too. It's like What fight?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not big, but you can't diminish the heavyweight.
I'm not
the heavyweight class. You can't do that.
It's kind of big though, because it does cause a lot of stare. Like every time, I don't even be wanting to talk about Crawford and Errol Spence, and then everybody just keep bringing it up. So, but people still do want to see this. But we also got to look at it like this: Tyson Fury versus Klitschko was mad boring, and we know Tyson Fury can make it boring, but stylistically, it's the chances of a fight being born between Earl and Crawford is very unlikely. So that plays a difference on it as well. But both of them is there, but whatchamacallit is getting played out though, the Earl and Crawford, because they don't.
Earl don't want it. Earl don't want it. We
Exactly.
all know Earl don't want it.
He not. It's crazy how AJ got 3 belts, right? Everybody, I don't like to talk about money, but everybody can use their brain and see who the A side between AJ and Fury is.
Of course. I showed you the graphic the other day. Pulled up the graphic the other day. Fury don't sell. Fury don't sell.
Exactly. He don't. He never brung up money. That's why I respect AJ. He never brung up money. And allegedly, I don't know, it's 50-50 between Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury said he wanted 50-50, but does he really deserve it? So it's when two fighters want to make the fight. Now, Crawford said he wanted 50-50, but now Earl saying no. So if he can give Tyson Fury 50-50, why can't he? You get what I'm saying? So
totally. That's my argument. That's my argument with Errol.
I respect that, but that's why. But they're all getting played out, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think one of them about to lose real soon. It's getting to the point. But one of them about to lose.
I think inevitably, if you mess around like that,
one of them about to lose real soon. Within about 6 to 12 months, one of them about to lose.
Very possible. Very possible. Because we still don't know if Errol Spence is fully back. We still don't know. Don't know. But okay, so we've dealt with that one. Let me have a look.
But you know, answer Jali. Is it that you get it done over Skype, from the gal hour?
Yeah, she dumped him. I don't know what his bitterness is with the US.
It ain't no, bro. It ain't no bitterness. You just asked me a question. I answered the question.
You always emphasize you speak at a certain tone, but then when you mention the US, you add an accent. You know how you certain languages you add an accent on it, like Spanish.
Yeah.
That's how you do,
bro. I got kinfolk in America. I got kinfolk in America.
That doesn't mean nothing.
So how you gonna say I don't like the stars and the stripes, my friend?
Lord of mercy.
Yo, I eat Kentucky Fried Chicken the same as anybody else.
I don't eat chicken.
Come on, bro.
Nah, that's like that's like
I ain't got nothing against a little bit of finger licking chicken. Nothing against a bit of finger licking chicken.
Hey, Rafi.
That's a stereotype.
Just a quick sidebar though.
Yeah.
What's up with this conversation Khaled Solon trying to have with Kell Brook to have him fight Chris Eubank Jr.? Yo, Kell Brook serious, dog?
Man,
just leave Kell Brook alone, man. They've already cracked up his eye sockets. What they want next? A fractured skull?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I think I wanted him to fight Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo was like
that's what I'd like to see.
Somebody gotta tell Kell Brook to chill, bro.
That's true.
He's gotta chill.
Hopefully his money, right? Hopefully his money. See, that's why I be wanting the fighters to get as much money as they can, because when that's your only source of income and you in debt and you don't really have as much money, you got bills to pay, it forces them to want to fight longer than they really need to, and they just put their health at risk and more and more and more, because I don't know, bro.
The Brits won't travel. The Brits won't travel to the US in numbers. If you catch COVID in America, it will be a very expensive holiday because you got to quarantine. You got to stay over there. So that would be a long holiday and expensive. Long and expensive.
No, I think he can do it. I don't even know if they allow people to travel.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're even allowed to travel.
Yeah, so that's why I said certain things. I don't want to talk. I ain't gonna talk about it because.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's look in here. Rafi's the new James Bond. He is 22. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I've always said I want to be the first black Bond, so that's one of the things on my to-do list. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get.
You said USA though. I feel you on that box of lobster. I feel you though. I feel y'all. I see why y'all want to have it, but Tyson Fury, I don't think he got his license, and he literally said he's not going to do it. So
yeah, he said he ain't fighting in the
yeah,
UK.
like if he said he ain't going to do it, then he's not going to do it. They're not going to force him to do it. I don't think he's licensed to. So I trust me, bro. I see what you mean.
Yeah,
but I'm just trying to see where the fight can be made because. Looking at it, I don't see no other sporting events happening in the Middle East neither. So if they said Texas is no restrictions in the whole state of Texas, then just have it in Texas. And then also that will maximize their US pay-per-view because they can have it at 7 p.m. here or 6.
Yeah.
They can have it at 6 p.m., which means it'll be 11 p.m. overseas, your time.
Right, 1 a.m. Well, about 12, midnight. That'll be good still.
Still, just like how they have for the Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia, and they still can maximize their pay-per-views and still get money and still get a gate. So
straight up and down. Straight up and down.
This way. Because if you keep delaying and delaying and delaying, it's like I don't know. Like, what's up?
What's up with that? But I tell you what's up. What's up is Lisa Bales up in the building. Hello, Lisa. What's up?
Hey, hi guys. Somebody had called me and so I didn't hear certain parts.
That's all right.
I had to put my TV down. So they still don't have a venue, right?
Well, the venue isn't a problem. What I played was some audio from an interview that Eddie Hearn did earlier on today, where he explained that people are losing about the 28 days. But he said that the 28 days is something that we put in there to act as a framework, so these venues can know the framework they have to work to. So it's just a question of giving them a time frame, giving them a framework. They know when they have to get their bids in pronto, like, next week. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's just a framework. The main thing is that as Eddie Hearn explains it, is that everybody has signed the contract. That was the main obstacle. That was the biggest obstacle to get everybody's signature. Now, there are venues that have already expressed an interest. Now it'll simply be a question of all those venues getting their bid in and collectively, both teams deciding which bid they prefer. They prefer. Lisa Bates. Yeah. So that's how it's going down.
I don't like what. So see, the thing about it is, I thought the water arbitration was over. So who's telling the truth? Is Coppinger wrong or is he right?
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at what Coppinger said. He said.
It's still going on. He said it's not resolved yet.
Okay, let me pull that up. I just had a look for it. I had a look for it after you mentioned it.
Yes,
and I think I've got it
on IFL TV. I'm like, bruh.
Mike Coppinger should be on you. Hold on, it's a bit. Let me bring it up so everyone can see it clearly, clear as day.
No, go to YouTube. Mike Coppinger IFL TV interview.
No. I'm just bringing up his tweet right here because he says
he tweeted it. Oh, okay.
He says it.
Tweeted it too? Okay.
My interview with Mike Coppinger. Fury versus Joshua is far from done. Mike Coppinger explains why Saudi Arabia's offers and Wilder's legal case may prevent super fight in summer. So that's all. I don't think there's anything concrete there. He said May. Where's the word? Legal case May. It
Sound
may.
like they don't want this fight.
It sounds like they don't want to fight. Every 2 minutes, every 2 seconds, someone throwing up May.
Yeah, who?
May this, May that, maybe not.
He want to fight though. He just said it just sounded like he has some doubts. It's just an interesting interview. That's why.
Yeah,
there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of negativity.
That's what Lisa said. There's a lot of negativity. That's what she's saying, and she's right.
So,
yeah,
like from Carpenter, you think so? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Look at what Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman said yesterday. If I didn't know any better, I wouldn't even think Max Kellerman was a person.
Oh, for real?
That was from HBO. They were saying
I gotta analyze it because it's kind of crazy that they from ESPN. So I gotta find a psychological as if they trying to do to do that. I don't know. Yeah, I gotta look at it myself before I answer that one because
wow,
could be a lot of tricks being played with that one too.
Yeah,
I don't know what. Yeah, I didn't see it. I gotta watch that. I don't.
Yeah, but how can?
I'm sorry. Go.
Yeah, but how can Stephen A. Smith say that the Spence and I'm not Porter. What's his name? Crawford fight is bigger when everybody knows that the heavyweights is always the biggest, division. When the heavyweights is okay, then the whole box as a whole is okay. So I thought that was weird, but I thought maybe it's just because the guys are not from the country. That's the only thing I could think of it. So
I doubt that.
By him saying that, how can he say that when the money is? They're saying that the money is not in the pot for. Not that it's not in the pot, but nobody's offering a fight to all of these places for Spence and not Porter. What's his name? Crawford. So I didn't understand that. So sounds like to me a lot of negativity.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: how would you explain the difference between being negative but also or just being pessimistic?
Well, I could come in there. I mean, the negativity
is a pessimist.
Yeah. Is that to me?
In a way.
To me, I feel that when the Fury fights was being made, there was a lot of conjecture. There was a lot of questions being asked. There were a lot of questions being asked. If you're not talking, just mute your mic. I've muted all the mics now, so it's all good. There was a lot of questions being asked. Is Fury going to go through or not? But there seems to be a different tone. There seems to be a different tone. A lot of people, I think, wanted. I don't know what it is. There's a different tone. Jalik, there's a different tone. I mean, Iron Kong, there's a different tone.
You think so? I think more people want to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think more people want to see the Undisputed in the world than the Wilder Fury 3. Now, of course, people still want to see the Wilder Fury 3, but the way Wilder lost, it was like and nobody gives him a chance. So it's like a movie. It's like you've seen that movie already. So nobody really giving him a chance. Now let's hope he does have a chance, but nobody really perceives it that way. It's all about, a lot of it is about perception.
Let's hope who has a chance.
As Wilder winning the third fight with Tyson Fury, most people wouldn't give him a chance because of the way that he lost. Now with the AJ fight, more people is like that's closer.
Yeah,
so I don't know. But now you also got to look at it like this: just because we want to see it, that doesn't mean 100% of the world is going to want to see it, because everybody doesn't see the world like everybody, and everybody has a right to their own opinion. So
Iron Kong, is there a hint of negativity there? In the water, is there a hint of negativity?
Of course, there is. You got a lot of people who are upset that this is a strictly UK affair. You have people already calling it a UK fight. this is a fight for the world, right?
Mm.
And it's like, you know, if an American is not involved,
Yeah.
then certain people are, you know, all of a sudden don't care. That's why you have people like Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Even though I don't listen to these people, especially Stephen A. Smith, on no sports matters, no nothing,
Yeah.
because he's you know, he's more of a cartoon character.
Mm.
And the truth is, they would care if it was Wilder versus Joshua. When it was Wilder versus Fury, it was a huge fight, the biggest thing in the world, whatever. But it's a bit, as I said before, it's a bit strange because Tyson Fury is in fact an ESPN broadcasted fighter. These two should really be beating the drums to push this fight, right? But they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very strange that they're not doing it and pushing, at least towing the company line. You're here talking about a fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. That might never happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why that's strange to me too. That's why I gotta put my my thinking cap on and see why they would actually do it. Now that could revert back to the public criticism that they will receive for dealing with MTK and Daniel Kinahan, because that could be it too. You think that's something to do with it? Because from a public relations standpoint, if that gets out there that they're dealing with that could from
but people knew that. People knew that. That news came out last year when Tyson Fury said
the media hasn't talked about it though, so it hasn't really been
so what's Don DB saying? How come nobody cares about that fight in America though? I mean, I got the news lights and ain't no buzz.
There is a buzz. There's a buzz. Everybody been talking about it.
Yeah, where you been, Don DB?
Yeah, why ESPN wouldn't want that? That doesn't. I don't. The only thing I can think of is the Daniel Kinahan. Other than that, they would want that fight. Like that's kind of crazy. Why won't they?
I don't think it's that, Jaleek. I think it's because it's not an American.
They care about water. Like,
I mean, it has to.
It's an old UK affair.
Okay, see, the thing is, this is just my opinion. That's bad sportsmanship, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because for years I've been on, YouTube, and I have listened to UK channels support the American fighters for years, and this was years and years ago. But also, they would get up like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning to watch these fights.
Yeah.
So, at ungodly hours for them to support, the fight. So, I think that's like unsportsmanship because, okay, so right now we don't have a American in the race as far as undisputed right now, but that doesn't mean that, the sport is, like you said, Jaleek, it's a worldwide sport.
Okay.
We have to extend that sportsmanship and be happy for other countries and territories to grow the sport. So I didn't like that. Like, I don't have an insular mindset, if you know what I mean.
I don't neither, but I'm trying to see it from their perspective now. From a business perspective, Tyson Fury versus Wilder, or Wilder versus AJ, will do more pay-per-views and generate more money on pay-per-views than them two guys fighting. Can we all agree with that?
Say that again.
Wilder versus AJ or Wilder versus Fury on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because ESPN would generate more money for ESPN than there's two UK guys. So from a business perspective, that maybe they looking at it like that, because to hate on this fight is like, why would they hate on that? You're supposed to be that's kind of weird. Like, and the UK got ties to the man, we can go back in history with the UK, so it's like, I don't know. It's not even no beef with the UK and the US like that. Like, what beef is with the UK and the US? Like,
yeah, I just think it's a friendly
thing.
I mean, like a competitive thing, as far as
yeah. Who got the link to that? You got a link, Lisa? Because I ain't heard that Stephen A. Smith. I ain't heard him say that. about Earl Spence. It's crazy that they would even mention.
No, look at yesterday. Type in YouTube. Go on the show. What's the name of that show? First Take, right?
Oh, they said it on First Take. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong, Earl Spence and Bud is a big fight. That is a huge fight. But what I'm saying is, it's always been the heavyweights. If there's a heavyweight undisputed or whatever, the heavyweights was the ones that always ran boxing. As far as if heavyweights is okay, then everybody else is.
Heavyweights is okay. That's everybody else.
They're like the creme de la creme of boxing.
Yeah,
And also,
the blue ribbon.
I mean, and also the welterweights. Yeah, also the welterweights as well. So you know, that's what I'm.
And in comes the man like the Phil Walker. Phil Walker, how do you do,
what's up, bro?
Yo, how y'all doing, man?
What's up, bro?
How y'all
Hey,
doing?
Phil, how you doing?
It's all
I'm
cool.
doing well.
It's all cool in the gang, Phil. It's all cool in the gang. Come on in with it, Phil. Come on in with it, because I know you probably got both barrels locked and loaded. So come with it, Phil. Come on.
No, man. You know, I'm coming with nothing but love and respect for boxing. That's where I'm coming.
You got a 45. You got a Saturday night special in your socks, though. Come on, Phil. Come on.
Yeah, I'm a 9 mil man myself, but you know that's neither here nor there. But for me, look. At the end of the day, as you guys have been mentioning, you know, boxing is a world sport, and you know, I just think it's a friendly, competitive rival when you know they pin just different countries against one another. You know, I mean, the Cuban fighters, the Latino fighters, the Mexican fighters, they've been doing it for years, right? When these guys get into the ring, a lot of these guys want to represent their country. This is nothing new. That's introduced into boxing. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. So my
Phil, your signal dropped, Phil.
He could have got a call or something.
I think your signal dropped, Phil. Phil, I think your signal dropped, my friend. So hold on, let me get in the right window. Okay, Phil, I think you need to change location. If you're in the house, change the location. Look at your signal. Look at your signal, Phil. Okay, so Phil's muted himself, so he's gonna change location. You were saying Jalik, the leader.
No, I mean, I want to be optimistic, but it's just like so many like things going on there, and I'm a very super optimistic person in real life. You know what I'm saying? And as far as boxing though, you kind of get to the point where you know certain things is going to be marinated or certain fights ain't going to happen. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think the Earl Spence and Crawford fight going to happen. And I'm
Spence don't want it, and if Spence don't want it, I don't think he's gonna.
I just don't think it's going to happen. So
I think it would happen if Spence wanted it, but Spence don't want it.
Exactly.
Spence don't want it. That's the long and the short of it. Spence don't want it. But check this out. Rafi, I bet you in the countdown to the fight, you will talk more about Wilder than AJ and Fury, because believe it or not, Wilder will be the selling point. Well, listen, Wilder has used his mouth very, very cleverly and also stupidly, but it don't really matter, because the bottom line is, because of Wilder's incessant barking, talking sense sometimes and then talking nonsense, pure nonsense. And let's face it, you know, you have to say, well, is the guy lying to himself? Is the guy lying to himself, or is he so deluded that he really think the man had an egg weight in his hand? Did he really think that the referee was drunk? Did he really think that he got spiked by his own trainer? When you come out with stuff like that, then you do become something of a talking point, because never in the history of sports has one man come up with so many excuses to explain one defeat. Where am I going to start with? I'm going to start with the Iron Kong.
Well, according to that comment, it would be poetic, right? Because before the first fight, the Wilder team, the PBC, assembled a whole panel of legends to go up there to trash Anthony Joshua. They sold that entire fight, and Anthony Joshua was back.
Oh
And
wow!
it still didn't do well.
Wow.
So let's not act like this ain't strange for
Wow.
Wilder and them.
That's
That's
a
how
great
Wilder
point.
built his whole profile of Anthony Joshua.
Wilder
And don't
built his
say-
profile of Anthony
And
Joshua.
don't
That's
say
the key point.
and don't say it didn't happen, because there's video still of those legends up there talking about the guy asking legend, would you accept $50 million to fight? And I was just like, really? Y'all got Riddick Bowe and all these people up there talking about
Evander Holyfield.
$50 million? Just give me a break. So that's cool, bro. But trust me, nobody needs Deontay Wilder to sell nothing. Anthony Joshua has been selling out 100,000 seater stadiums, and he didn't mention Wilder one time. Matter of fact, that's why Wilder got offended when he didn't call out Wilder at the Klitschko fight. He didn't give Wilder no love at the Klitschko. He called out Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
So nobody uses Deontay Wilder's name for anything, sir. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's
Let me ask you
great
this
point.
though.
Yeah.
Exactly, Iron Cone.
It's a great point.
Yeah, well, who you
Crazy.
think would be a bigger fight worldwide? AJ versus Wilder for undisputed, or AJ versus Tyson Fury for undisputed? What you think would be a bigger selling fight, though?
Well, hold on. Before you ask that question, let me just comment on the post real quick. Well, look, I mean, this is the deal right here. So, I mean, at the end of the day, these guys put in the work for themselves. Deontay Wilder put in the work to place himself where he did. Anthony Joshua did the same thing as well, and so did Tyson Fury. These guys are the top.
I disagree, Phil. I disagree,
Okay,
bro. I'm
well,
let
me Ralph, you don't even know what I'm gonna say. Okay.
No,
Let me
but
finish.
I heard that first sentence though, and I disagree with that first sentence. But carry on though, Phil. Carry on.
Yeah, exactly. These guys have put in the work to place themselves where they place themselves. When Deontay Wilder became a champion with the WBC, nobody even really knew who Anthony Joshua was. So Deontay Wilder did that. I mean, you cannot deny that. He went in there.
Anthony Joshua didn't exist at that point. He didn't exist at that point on the professional.
That's okay. All right. Hold up, Ralphie. That's my point. So when I say Deontay Wilder put himself, he did the work to put himself in that position. He did the work to become the WBC champion when he beat Bermane Stiverne. It has nothing to do with Deontay Wilder. Just like AJ put the work in when he went in there and he beat Charles Martin to become a champion. Okay. These guys putting in the work doesn't have anything to do with one or the other. Same thing with Tyson Fury when he went in there and he beat Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, these guys are putting in the work themselves to put themselves in positions. So
Phil, the question is,
Ralph, can I finish? I just want to finish.
Yeah,
I just want to finish. Okay, all right. So as I was mentioning. When you talk about these guys are currently consensus probably the top 3 heavyweights in boxing. Okay, so if one guy named gets mentioned by another guy or vice versa, however the situation is, it's just because people want to know. People are going to tie these guys together because that's just how boxing is. There's no doubt that everybody. Ralph, please let me. Oh Jesus Christ! All right, I'm not going. I'm not.
Okay, no, Phil, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Phil, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question while you're talking. No, I want to ask you a question, Phil. The question is, did Deontay Wilder? The allegation is that Deontay Wilder used Joshua's name to build his profile. That is the point that's being raised. So I just want to put.
But hold up, that's not the question. Though. That's not the question. The question was. Will Deontay Wilder be a selling point? The question was, Deontay Wilder would be a selling point for Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? That's the question that was raised, right or wrong?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, all right. So let me get back to what I was saying. Okay.
Right.
Again, now I think these, as I was just saying, I think all these guys, or I think these three guys are the top 3 heavyweights in the world. That's just my opinion personally. Okay. So at the end of the day, when people come to the table and they ask about Deontay Wilder and they ask about Anthony Joshua, and they ask about Tyson Fury, it's just questions out of curiosity, because we all want to see these guys fight one another. Of course, Wilder and Fury has already fought twice, okay? But we still want to see the AJ against his Fury, and we still want to see the Wilder versus AJ. I still personally want to see these fights.
Yeah.
Now, do I think Deontay Wilder would be a selling point for Fury and Anthony Joshua? No, I think Undisputed is the selling point. That's what I think it is. So at the end of the day, I don't think Deontay Wilder built any kind of platform off the back of Anthony Joshua. How can you build a platform when your foundation is that you were the WBC champion before people even knew who Anthony Joshua was? Okay, so that's Deontay Wilder's foundation, that he earned his shot to be the WBC champion, and he went in there and he beat Bermane Stiverne. Just like Anthony Joshua went in there, he worked his way up in the rankings. He dominated Charles Martin to become a champion. He dominated Vladimir Klitschko to become a champion. Just like Tyson Fury worked his way up in the rankings, and he dominated Vladimir Klitschko to be a champion. Dominated Deontay Wilder not once but twice. So these guys are going to be intertwined because they have set themselves up to be the top 3 heavyweights in the world, no matter what your opinion is about them. So do I think Deontay Wilder will be a talking point? I will emphasize this. No, I don't. I don't think they need Deontay Wilder to sell this particular fight. So personally, when I'm talking about AJ and Tyson Fury, I'm not talking about Deontay Wilder. I'm talking about AJ and Tyson Fury, because these are the 2 guys that are fighting for Undisputed. Now, if Deontay Wilder wants to fight somebody else, whoever his next fight may be, then that's a different conversation. But if you're not talking about Undisputed, I don't see what's the purpose in mentioning Deontay Wilder unless the winner says, I want Deontay Wilder next, or whatever the case may be. Otherwise, guess what? It's dead in the water, and that's just the way I feel about it.
Okay. So just having a title is not a foundation. Charlo is about to fight for Undisputed in his last PP, and his last PPV did less than 100K. Profile is more than having a belt.
Good point.
Okay, that's a very good point. Okay, so Phil, the question morphed when somebody raised the point. They're saying that how would Deontay Wilder be the selling point when Deontay Wilder built his name on Anthony Joshua? And I have to add my 2 pennies worth to that. I think that it's clear. It's very, very clear that Deontay Wilder's profile skyrocketed when the talk of he and Anthony Joshua fighting came about. Anthony Joshua's profile didn't skyrocket. It was already high, but it built Deontay Wilder's profile to another level. And we've seen this effect before. So Deontay Wilder isn't unique in this. We've seen this effect before. The same thing happened with Andreas the Punch Ruiz. Once his name became associated with Joshua, his profile skyrocketed likewise. So I think there's a direct correlation that we've seen between boxers being related to Anthony Joshua, related via the possibility of them fighting or them actually fighting, and their popularity or notoriety being significantly raised. Let me go over to Jalik, the leader. What say you on that point?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Now, as far as Anthony Joshua, he was always like Anthony Joshua. I always thought Wilder will win the fight, but I always like Anthony Joshua as well. You know what I'm saying? I like Anthony Joshua, and I like just the way he came up. You know, he's just a cool guy. But if you had to use an example, we all know Mike Tyson is bigger than Holyfield, right?
Yeah.
But Holyfield still had a big name. Now,
Yeah.
when you bring them both together, it really makes it even more electrifying because this ain't the music business where you can just perform by yourself. You might have somebody open up for you. You actually have to have an opponent. So the opponent that you're fighting makes yourself in the event that much bigger, depending on who the opponent is. So when you mix two big punchers together, like Anthony Joshua versus Wilder, that made both guys actually bigger, not just Wilder. It made Anthony Joshua even bigger because I would say Anthony Joshua may be more popular on a worldwide scale, similar to Tyson, but from a U.S. scale, he wasn't as known as, say, like a Wilder, because Wilder did win an Olympics, and I think that was in China in 2008. He won a bronze medal, and he was knocking everybody out. And one thing that Wilder has going for him, believe it or not, is the flaws that he has, because he does fight in such a unique way. So even when people like trash your name and say you do certain things and you don't have this, it kind of makes you stand out. So believe it or not, the people that talk negative about you and trash actually becomes a fan because people talk, because what he does do is he knock people out, and you bring those two guys together. But Anthony Joshua name was bigger, and then it still is a big name, and hopefully we can get the undisputed. And Wilder, I don't know what they're going to do, because it's like, are they in arbitration? If they're not in arbitration, and they're not going to happen, Wilder is going to have to rebuild his name. Nothing is given to you. Nobody owes you nothing. It's not like you're a baby living. You're not living with your parents. He lost, and he got to get back on his game and go to IBF route. I mean, I don't know. He got to get back on it, but it's I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna just not even listen to nothing Anthony Joshua until about April. I'm gonna give it about 2 weeks and come back and see if it get announced, because it's too
Okay.
much now. It's too much.
I got you. Excellent points from Jalik. Okay. Don ZB says when Wilder's profile skyrocketed, AJ's profile plummeted. Okay, well, that's an interesting point of view. Iron Kong, it's like the Osmonds. It's like the Jacksons, the Jackson 5.
No,
you had the Jackson 5, and then you needed a counter. So then they came up with the Osmonds. And even though the Osmonds previous to the Jacksons, their profile was low, when the Jacksons came on the scene, they said, well, who's the other guy? Who's the competitor? And then that was Wilder's role. He was the competitor. He was the American champion. And even though he didn't have a big profile, he's very, very American, just over America. Didn't have a worldwide profile. We knew who he was, but we didn't pay attention. When Joshua came on the scene, then boom! Now Deontay Wilder becomes important. He's a piece of the jigsaw puzzle, and that was the emergence of Wilder on the worldwide scale. That's what I say. Iron Kong, your response?
Well, first off, I don't know who named Osman. Who's the Osmans?
Osmonds?
What that?
Crazy horses! Wow!
No, I don't know who them people be. So look here.
Okay. Yeah.
In terms of profile, it's no comparison. Yeah, Wilder was the WBC champ, but not even in America people knew who Deontay Wilder was as a WBC champ. He was WBC champ for like 5 years. Never did no pay-per-views, never sold out nowhere, nothing. That's all history though. I don't expect these guys to be riding on no Deontay. I mean, I guess they're gonna show the highlights from the Tyson Fury fight, because that's pretty much the only highlights Tyson Fury really has. You're not gonna show no highlights from the Klitschko fight. Surely not. You're not gonna show no highlights from the Sefer. What's his name? Sefer who?
Sefer Fury.
Right. You ain't gonna show no highlights from Sefer Fury and Pianetta. So you have to show the highlights from the second Deontay Wilder fight, unless you're going to show Deontay Wilder clubbing him in the 12th round or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't show that. So Tyson Fury don't really have a lot of highlights.
Mm.
So you're gonna have to use Deontay Wilder at some point.
Mm.
But I don't really hear Anthony Joshua bringing up Wilder's name too much in his press conferences. So he don't really need to use that. But for Tyson Fury's purposes, yeah, you're gonna have to use Deontay Wilder. That's one of his very few highlights.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Lisa Bales. Joshua raised, or rather Wilder raised his profile by keeping Joshua's name in his mouth.
Yeah, I think it happened after like I would say like the Klitschko fight. You know, so that's when like kind of like they started.
Yeah, it started there.
A little bit going back and forth or whatever.
Wilder was at the fight. Wilder was at the fight. He said, "Yeah, I want something like this over. We want something like, we don't have nothing like this over in the U.S. We want to bring this stuff. I want to fight them over here. Maybe they did 90,000. Maybe they get 100,000 if I fight them over here in the UK. I love this. Lisa Bales."
Yeah, well, that's when I noticed his profile started raising. Was like after that $50 million thing and kind of all of that. But you know that happens in boxing. They put like
you need a counterpart. You need a counterpart.
Right. And to build the fight was kind of built, you know.
Right.
And unfortunately, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. I think at some point, I think it's going to. Hopefully, you know.
Hey, what's the point in it happening now? There was the WBC belt versus all the other belts. What's the point? What's the point in it happening now? You know. Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, I still think
the fizz is gone. Is there any fizz left in that? Yeah,
bro. Like, what era did you grow up watching boxing? Raphael, when you start watching boxing, bro?
I started watching from as soon as I could crawl. As soon as I could crawl, I got my first pair of gloves.
Loser, bro. One loss don't make you a loser. Like Lennox Lewis got.
No, it's not. No, it's not the loss. It's not the loss. It's the fizz. Has it still got the fizz? There's
it won't be as big, but
so much crap has been going on with it. It's like, you know, the people still want to see that fight.
Yeah, because they big punchers and people like knockouts. And Wilder, he can fight Charles Martin, knock him out. People be like, okay, he's back, because he do knock you out, bro. I mean, he might lose every round and bang, he knock you out. And people like there, and then he's vulnerable. He has an excitement to him. So people gonna trust me, man. People still gonna want to see it. AJ just got knocked out. People still
look. That's like saying people didn't want to see Pacquiao and Mayweather after Pacquiao lost twice, right? So I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I'm gonna let Lisa finish saying what she was saying because somebody interrupted her. Go ahead, Lisa.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, that's when I noticed. So it was like kind of like, you know, because AJ is more like quiet, so you know, it wasn't like he would throw little dibs and jabs there, but at the time, you know, Wilder really was chasing for the fight, and you know, unfortunately, it just, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. You know, I just say irreconcilable differences. They just didn't agree for whatever reasons.
Let's just say Wilder refused to sign. He just let's just tell it like it is. He refused to sign. He went to the zone office that made the offer. He refused to sign because he said, "We're not going to sign because we don't know how much AJ is going to get." So, you know, let's just call it. You know, that's what Wilder said out of his own mouth. But Phil, yeah, it's not that I'm not saying because he lost that the fizz has gone out. I'm just saying that we waited so long. Wilder has been so adamant that he ain't fighting Joshua, you know, Eddie Hearn's the devil. You don't want nothing to do with this. Like, okay, if you don't want to fight, then just don't fight. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you don't want it, then you just don't want it. It's okay. You don't want it. Okay, so be it.
So let me say this right here in regards to the question, right? this is my opinion about it right here. You know, when Anthony Joshua was when he beat Charles Martin, and then when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, absolutely, Anthony Joshua became a world star at that point. You know, you got to give a lot of credit to AJ, and also you have to give a lot of credit to Eddie Hearn as well, because he did a good job putting Joshua on Front Street so that people around several different countries could know who he is. Absolutely. Anthony Joshua has been a world star for quite some time now, and his numbers prove that. Okay. So when you mentioned Deontay Wilder and you talk about the world stage, I would probably say, in my opinion, that Deontay Wilder was well known within the States by hardcore boxing fans and not so much the casual fan, right? And we all know the casual fans is what really moves, exactly, is what drives the market, right? So I will say, when Anthony Joshua came about, and it was a rivalry that was created because these are two really big punchers from different parts of the country. So do I think Deontay Wilder got extra recognition when Anthony Joshua came on the scene? I do think people started to recognize Deontay Wilder more, because now you have guys from two different parts of the country. You have one guy that's a world star, and you have another guy that's technically a household name. That's a really big puncher. So yeah, I would say that Anthony Joshua did absolutely help Deontay Wilder in raising his profile, without a doubt. But when we talk about that fight, I think that fight was big because these two guys were the two best heavyweights in the world at that particular time. So this is one thing I will say that I do give Anthony Joshua credit for, and there's no denying that. He set the market for the heavyweights to get paid more money. He was demanding so much money with his fight, and he was doing such good numbers that he absolutely helped Deontay Wilder in that regard, because he reset the market, and he also helped Tyson Fury in that regard because he reset the market. I will give him absolutely 110% credit for that. And hey, look, I would imagine those guys are grateful for that as well. So that's just my opinion on it.
Yes. We've been all around the table on that one. And people may say, well, Raph, how did that topic come up? How did that topic come up about JJ building Wilder's profile? How did that come up, Rafi? Well, that topic came up because there was a question by Don Zebe, or a statement by Don Zebe, that the undisputed fight will be sold on the back of Deontay Wilder, or rather Deontay Wilder will be the selling point. And so that's why that topic came about. So, you know, it's a linear progression. But we got so carried away chatting about this whole situation that we haven't got to the main topic, the title piece. And so let me go get that now. Okay. So, boom. I think I should be sharing, but let me check. Yes. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this piece. First things first, let's get it up. Let's get it up so you can see it very clearly. And again, or maybe one more time. Will that be too much? No, that's perfecto, I think. Okay, so Fury's trainer. Yeah, there it is. It's good. Okay, so Fury's trainer says Joshua is a very dangerous package. It's going to be a tough fight. And I found that headline very interesting because so far we're hearing, you know, Fury is the betting favorite. Fury is the betting favorite. I personally have Fury as the favorite. Why? Just more time in the game. He's like what, second generation, third generation boxer in his family. So when they were sitting around the table to eat the dinner, they would be talking, I'm sure, there would be much talk about boxing. I'm sure that would be a main topic. What difference does that make? Well, it means that boxing's on your mind. You know, it's not just something you do a couple of times a week, 2 times, 3 times a week. No. Boxing's been on his mind from an early age, single-digit age. So he's been thinking about boxing. He's been in the boxing gym from the age of 10, talking about Tyson Fury, age of 10. I think Joshua rocked up, 16, 17, 18. So, yeah, more experience, third generation boxer. Yeah, there's a number of reasons why Tyson Fury is the favorite. And, of course, let's not forget his skill set. So, anyway. So it's interesting to hear the other side of the coin. Hear somebody speak about the other side of the coin, speak about Joshua's strengths. Okay, so let's get into it. Interesting take. Okay, so SugarHill Steward, trainer of WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury, has a lot of respect for Anthony Joshua, but he doesn't see him overcoming the awkward tactics of Fury. Okay, so let's have a look. SugarHill Steward says he showed a lot of good things in that fight, Pulev fight. I was very impressed. His patience, he was relentless. He was pushing the issue. He was impressive. Anthony Joshua is a dangerous fight, period. From what I saw in that fight, he really put his stuff together. I thought he took the risks. He didn't fight anything like he fought against Ruiz in the second time. That's the one he didn't take the risks in. He fought with a different style, and now I believe he's comfortable with it. What's going on here? Okay, so he did take risks in that Pulev fight. He didn't shy away and just wait. He was right in there. He was aggressive, and I thought it was a great fight and a great performance by Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is one of the top fighters in the division, one of the top fighters in the world with his skills and experience. He's one of those guys who keeps practicing. It's going to be a tough fight. He's got a ton of experience. He's got the height, good balance. Good balance. Who was the one who was saying Anthony Joshua didn't have balance? Oh, it was the fight doctor. Well, the fight doctor, I'm sorry to say that a man who might know a smidgen more about boxing than you, my good man, disagrees with you. Good balance, good power, timing. There's so much that Anthony Joshua has. That's a very dangerous package. What's going on? Tyson is unpredictable in the ring. He does not know what he's going to do next. Maybe he will just come out and box versus Joshua. Who knows what the game plan will be? Everyone has to think about so many different things with Tyson. Is he going to come at you or not? Now you have to train with 2 different styles, 2 different ways. Somebody coming at you and someone boxing you. It starts to get a little difficult than preparing for something like that. What's that? Is that the end? Okay, let's do the last paragraph. The world has changed, and I believe if it's not for the coronavirus, this fight would have happened. You've got to have the fans wherever the fight can happen. That has fans, a big crowd with the fans roaring, where everyone is trying to get tickets for that fight. You can really have this type of fight. Anyway, there you go. You get the gist. You get the meaning. You get the understanding. And those were the words of SugarHill Steward. And in comes none other than the fight doctor. Fight doctor, lead out, my friend. Lead out. Come with it.
Fight doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always. Good evening, gentlemen.
What's popping? A YouTube legend. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, my brother?
How you doing, Miss Bales? How are you doing?
I'm blessing yourself.
I'm blessed. Thank you, sister. I am blessed.
A lot of blessings
Awesome.
going around. All right, come on, come with the blessings, Fight Doctor.
Okay, look. So I don't know, guys. Just take a close look at Anthony Joshua, especially when he throws the right hand. Okay, when he throws the right hand, it almost looks like he's overcommitting, because when at the end of the punch, if he misses, he's off balance and squares up. Now, this isn't something I'm making up, all right? And I've mentioned this before on your show about Anthony Joshua's balance and the problem that he has there. And the problem, well, see, he hasn't really fought anybody outside of Klitschko who could really take advantage of this particular deficiency in his game. Okay, and hopefully maybe Mayweather and company can tighten that up. But I'd be more than happy to do a film study, and we can have a look at Anthony Joshua, and we can see if his balance is
I
bad.
see him throwing lots of rights, and I don't see no off balance thing. I don't see the off balance you're talking about. I see him throwing lots of rights, and I don't see no off balance. Quite the opposite. Looks super balanced. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Looky there. Looky there.
See, I look at his foundation is strong because he got big legs. Well, his calves are big. I'm not sure about, not the calves, but the
thighs.
What do you call it? Yeah,
thighs.
those are big. So that's part of your foundation. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not a boxing expert, but I could be wrong.
No, I think there's nothing
Well,
you said.
Let me say this right here. All right. When you talk about Anthony Joshua, look, this is my deal right here. Now, this guy's had in a double-digit amount of fights, 20-something fights. I mean, if you can go through, okay, if you find him throwing one right hand where he's off balance, that doesn't mean he's an off-balance fighter. That just means maybe that time he was off balance. I mean, I think overall, I think Anthony Joshua is a pretty technical fighter, if you just want to be honest about it.
Yeah. Looks solid.
I think he's overall solid when you talk about the technical aspects of his game. I mean, let's be real. Out of Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua is the most technically sound out of all three of those guys.
No, sir. I disagree. I disagree.
I'm done with that. So, I mean, you can have your opinion, Fight Doctor. I mean, Tyson Fury is described as unorthodox, and Deontay Wilder is described as a drunk octopus. So when you talk about the technical aspects, I mean, I think by default, I think AJ probably has the upper hand when you talk about from a technical standpoint. And that's just not saying who I think's the better fighter or not. I just think he's the more technical guy.
Overall, Fight Doctor is shocked and stunned, astonished. He's been thwarted. We're looking at Anthony Joshua here, and we're trying to find him off balance, and Fight Doctor looks solid to me. Solid.
Well, like I said, so I'm actually not at home, so I can't pull up the proper clips. Okay, but let me just do my homework, and we'll revisit this conversation.
Hey, you know exactly how you can get those clips to me, my friend. You know exactly how you can get those clips to mine. Let me go. What happened to Jalik? What happened to Jalik, the leader? I can see him.
I'm still here.
Okay.
Like bad balance to me is like, and I love the guy. I love his style, fighting, but Boo Boo has like kind of his balance is a little crazy.
Oh my God, Lisa, that's why I love you, because I think we got the same eyeballs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think his balance is terrible. He's a very skilled fighter, but at the end of the day, a lot of times he's off balance, and he's just, when it comes to a technical standpoint, as far as his foundation, I think he needs to work on that. He would be a much better fighter if somebody just worked on his footwork with him. And I agree with you 110%.
But when he was younger in the amateurs, he wasn't fighting like that as much. So I don't know. I think he's a very skilled technician. He's southpaw, but Boo Boo is very unorthodox as well.
Very unorthodox.
Like how Wilder and Fury, they're unorthodox. So
Yeah.
Like he doesn't sit on his punches like all the way, but he does have pop though.
Yeah, I guess you give him something when if he had more balance, then he wouldn't be as awkward. He'd probably be easier to defeat. So it's like a balance. If you talk about physical balance, then it is also the balance of what you're willing to give. I think AJ got good balance and he got good fundamentals. His footwork is getting better, and we got to realize it looks like he take his training better. So I'm sure he has tools that we haven't seen yet. AJ's biggest weakness is his stamina, and stamina is more important than power and a lot of things in boxing. Stamina is very.
Stamina look pretty good against Ruiz.
Yeah,
I said his biggest weekness is stamina. He has weaknesses. I know that's your favorite fighter, and you don't like nobody to criticize him. So you have Anthony Joshua.
You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy, Jelly. You're a funny guy, Jelly.
Yeah, he has flaws, no doubt.
His biggest weaknesses, though, is his stamina. But other than that, I mean, his foundation is good. I like the way he move around the ring. I like his body punching. His jab is nice. And people actually be forgetting that he actually got power. He's the only one knocked out Povetkin. But I was saying,
Jalik, can I ask you a question on the stamina? Honestly though, can you name a fight where Anthony Joshua's stamina played a part in him either losing or making it a close fight?
Vladimir Klitschko.
Vladimir Klitschko.
Hold on one second. Hold up one second. Let me say this right. Hold up. Let me say this right here. Hold up. I'm gonna let you answer.
I'm not here to debate everything that I say.
No. I'm not, bro. I'm not trying to debate you. I'm asking the question.
But if you think you got great stamina, and I respect that, bro. I'm not here to convert.
No. I'm just when you talk about the stamina, I just would like for you to elaborate.
I'll say Vladimir Klitschko. I'll say Vladimir Klitschko.
Yeah, I just want you to elaborate. That's it, man. Relax.
I'll say Vladimir Klitschko. I'll say Vladimir Klitschko. There's an argument that he took a while to recover in the Vladimir Klitschko fight.
Right. His stamina, even in the Pulev fight. But one thing that he does have, he does get a second window. So you also got to credit him for that as well, because he got it in the Klitschko fight. But in certain cases, he just looked more fatigued than the Andy Ruiz fight. Now, say if he had great stamina, it's possible that he could have came back and won the fight or lasted the distance, because when your legs get weaker and things like that, then it's easier for you to go down. So it was more like he wasn't as hurt. I'm sure he was hurt, but his lack of stamina made his legs weaker in a Ruiz fight. You know what I mean? So that's another example there in a Ruiz fight.
He was too big in that fight. You could look at him and tell.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think with this stamina thing with these fighters, is that a genetic thing?
He got a lot of muscles. Yeah, that's not.
So, can I, Ralph? You mind if I give my opinions about this real quick?
Yeah, jump in, carry on, go.
All right. So this is my opinion right here. You know, when we talk about the fight in general, SugarHill pointed out a lot of good things about both guys, right? Look, at the end of the day, I think Tyson Fury actually has the edge for the same reason why Ralph does. I just think the overall experience factor right now. When you talk about the skill sets of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, I think they're very close. I think they can exploit each other's weaknesses. I think they both can do that. I think whoever comes in with the best game plan, is probably going to end up winning the fight. Now, when we talk about the stamina of Anthony Joshua, me personally, I don't think he has stamina issues. What I think he has is he mismanages his efficiency throughout the fight, because to me, Anthony Joshua, people need to understand that he's still a young fighter and he really is truly learning as he goes right now. And I think here recently, I think he's been managing his stamina better throughout the tenure of the fights. You know, you got to think about it. This guy was stopping a lot of people. Okay. Yeah. He wasn't really fighting 12 rounds. Okay. So when you talk about a guy that's not used to doing something, and now he's in scenarios where he may have to go 12 rounds, may have to go to a decision, or may have to get the stoppage on the latter end of a fight, you may have issues mismanaging your stamina. Because you're just not used to. So you're just not used to it. Now, I will say this right here. He does pick up the second win. You know why? Because he doesn't have stamina issues. He has problems managing his stamina. And I think that's something that his coaches and his team is working with him on, because they're telling him, hey, you can't stop everybody. You're going to have scenarios where you're going to have to fight 12 rounds and win a decision. That's why I believe he's being more patient. And he's doing a lot more boxing, and he's letting the fights come to him instead of trying to just go in and get the guy out of there. But, you know, when you talk about Tyson Fury, we all know Tyson Fury does not have a problem boxing 12 rounds. Okay. That's because that's how he trains. He trains to box 12 rounds because he's a better boxer than he is puncher. I would suggest that his career proves so. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Joshua, absolutely, he's probably training to go 15. He's probably 15 rounds, and he's probably doing anywhere between 4 to 5 minute rounds when he's in there sparring. I do believe that as far as the way he leans out, his physique, I do think that may play a major part into it. And as you can see, he's came into his last couple of fighters. He's came in a lot more leaner and not so muscle bound. But at the end of the day, I think Anthony Joshua is not going to have a problem going 12 rounds, because with a guy like Tyson Fury, you should suspect to go 12 rounds. And also, I think his team is doing a better job of managing that for him, and he's more conscious of having to go 12 rounds and not burning himself out trying to get the stoppages like he did earlier in his career. It's going to be a one hell of a fight. These guys are fighting for undisputed. We hadn't seen this in a long time. Hey, look, I'm excited to see it. I hope the boxing world is excited to see it. And that's just the way I feel about it. Anthony Joshua's been a stand-up guy his entire career. And Tyson Fury's story is his story. Depression, in and out of boxing. You know, my thing with Tyson Fury is I'm just excited for once to see him actually defend the title. That's my bottom line right there. I want to see you defend one of these titles that you have picked up. That is my talking point for Tyson Fury. And there's no other place to do it than going in to fight for undisputed. I'm done with my little rant.
Yes. And yes, I can't find my tin. Hold on a second. I can't find my tin, but big up the Kent S. Nice little donation to make the chat litty. So Kent S is the official sponsor of the show. You got Kent S to thank for it. If you want to become a sponsor, just right where you're typing, just move over just a little bit, and you will see I think it's a $sign, the euro sign, whatever kind of sign. Don't be afraid to tickle that. For £1, you can buy the Raphael tea. For £2, you can buy him a coffee. Or if you want to go for the $5, then that is awesome as well. So Kent S is the official sponsor of the show. Much appreciation. Okay, and I want to add on with the stamina talk about stamina. I think Lisa, you asked, what's the origins of that? Is it genetic? Well, I think it's weight related. If you come into over heavy, then your stamina decreases. The closer you come into your optimal weight, there will be an optimal weight for strength and an optimal weight for stamina. And I think AJ has been coming in. He's been accused of coming in too heavy at times, and I certainly have been one of those people who was an advocate for him coming down in weight, coming down from the 250s and coming down to the low 240s, and that's what he's done. That's what he's been doing.
Right.
Last couple of fights, coming down in the low 240s, and so I think that's had an effect on his stamina. Also, his training. I think he was doing a lot of newfangled training, a lot of strength and conditioning, which a little bit of strength and conditioning is fine, but maybe he was doing a tad much. And I think what he did was, I think he said as much, he's going back more to old school training. So still keeping some of the new techniques, but essentially going back to boxing. He said he should be a shadow boxing champion by now in lockdown, doing a hell of a lot of shadow boxing every day, going back to the old school ways, a lot of old school techniques coming back. Just train boxing. You don't have to be training to do cross country. What do you call them things? The assault courses. You don't have to be training on assault courses if you're doing boxing. Train boxing if you're a boxer.
So that's like running, right?
Right. Well, no, I mean the assault course. Yeah, running, jumping rope. We're talking about the things you should be doing. Yeah, running, jumping rope, shadow boxing. The old school. You don't need to be
the heavy bag.
The heavy bag, skipping, the speed bag. You know what I'm saying? Those fundamentals. He got back to the boxing fundamentals, and then
calisthenics.
Calisthenics, and then that gives you stamina for boxing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think he's got back to boxing training, boxing, and I think that's a big factor as well. Jump rope, speed bag, heavy bag, running, which he's always been doing the running, and he's always done the jumping rope, but I think he's more concentrated on it now. Does it, rather than skipping a strength and conditioning thing and doing more boxing. And also another factor that we can't overlook is the caliber of competition. Who was his last fight? That was Kubrat Pulev, seasoned veteran in Kubrat Pulev, crafty technician.
More like seasoned turkey.
Crafty technician. The jab, world-renowned jab. And Anthony Joshua out-jabbed the jabber. And then who was before that? Was it? No, that was Ruiz, wasn't it? Yeah, Ruiz comes with his little box of tricks. Joshua has shown, little wariness with the shorter guys. He's seen people. He's been a bit trickier. Some of the shorter guys have been a bit trickier for Joshua. Takam, Ruiz, even Povetkin. But yeah, so Ruiz, he overcome the hurdle, getting TKO'd, and he came back and he went on his toes. Some people say he ran. A lot of people say he ran. But hey, that's another trick in the toolbox. That's another tool in the toolbox. Okay, so he went up on his toes. Well, good. He did it for 12 rounds. Well, good. He knows he can do that now. That's something he can implement.
Win by any means.
Yes, by any means necessary. I'm in a group, various different groups, and I was in one group, and somebody earlier on today said, "Yeah, Joshua won against Ruiz in 2, but I didn't like the way he did it." And I responded, "Well, I that's not my preferred way to win it. I'm sure that's not his preferred way to win it. But sometimes you're better off fighting. You don't have to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you can fight. It's smarter to fight fire with water." I think his preferred way to win is however he needs to win. I am whatever I need to be. However you need to win. Fight fire. You don't have to fight fire with fire. You don't have to fight fire with fire. Sometimes the smarter option is to fight fire with water. Pick the right tools for the job. And then before that was Povetkin, a world-renowned ex-regular WBA world champion, Olympic gold medalist, seasoned boxing professional. And that's Joshua. And so he's been fighting the top guys. He's been fighting the top guys back to back to back to back. And if you're fighting a top 30 guy, maybe even with the same level of stamina, it would have looked different. It would have looked different to when you're fighting the very top guys, the top 10 guys, back to back to back to back to back. The fight doctor, I know you want to say something. Jump in.
Yeah, Joshua was supposed to stop Ruiz in the rematch. Okay, Ruiz came in way out of shape, looked like he hadn't trained. looked like the Pillsbury Doughboy and stood right in front of Joshua all night eating jabs. Joshua should have stopped Ruiz. Okay, real talk.
Just to improve the fans and put himself at risk and lose. Come on, bro. That's stupid.
That's
It's about
Yo, look, man, look. At the end of the day, I'm not about to say how Anthony Joshua should win his fights. Okay, like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, the object of boxing is to hit and not get hit, and that's what he did. If somebody considered us to be running, that's fine, but I can guarantee you, it's a lot of guys out here that are ex-boxers that has a little has brain damage because these guys were wanting to bang it out every single fight. And you got guys that appreciate a guy that goes in and wins by using the sweet sign. I don't understand why you can't win with different methods. I mean, he went in there and he boxed Andy Ruiz, didn't put himself in any danger, didn't get hit very much. As a fan, I can value a fighter going in and winning multiple ways. Because in order to be a true champion, you can't just be one-dimensional. And I like the way Anthony Joshua went in and beat Andy Ruiz by just boxing him for 12 rounds. I watched the fight and I'll watch it again. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Get the win by any means necessary.
Exactly.
I don't think this should be a
agree.
debate. I don't think this should be a debate at all.
We gotta start calling you bar fight doctor, not fight doctor, bar fights. He want to see bar bar fight doctor.
Because every fight is not gonna be a knockout.
Yeah, come on, bro. You can't.
I mean, a TKO. But what I did notice in that second fight was he worked on his stamina. He came down in weight. Actually, he looks better at that lower weight.
Yes. 240. 242.
More,
Absolutely.
He was more fluid. There was more fluidity. So that's what I noticed. And he has to work on the clinch game, especially with for Fury. But the thing is also with he had to be careful because with Ruiz, not only do Ruiz have very fast hands, but Ruiz hit you. He does a lot of rabbit punches too. You gotta be careful of that. No, he does. Ruiz will be hitting you all kind of. His hands be moving so fast.
Yep.
He got some of the fastest hands I've ever seen as far as heavyweight.
Heavyweight.
Joseph Parker got very fast hands, but his hands are even faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and those short guys, I'm gonna just share this and shut up. Those short guys are very dangerous, like that low center of gravity.
Yeah.
When they get up close to you, those little short hooks, them short uppercuts are very dangerous. Them little short fighters are real dangerous.
Absolutely. I was impressed with the rematch. I was like, wow, he was throwing pull counters. He done his thing, bro. Sometimes you gotta fight boring fights. Who cares? You gotta say forget the crowd sometimes.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, you just gotta go in and win by any means. And I think honestly, I think the influence of the crowd being in America and AJ wanting to put on a great performance probably had an impact on him in that first Ruiz fight. I think he wanted to get the stoppage. He wanted to show out. He wanted to put on a good performance for his American fans. Because he came out boxing Ruiz beautifully and it worked. It worked for him because he dropped Ruiz boxing. He wasn't brawling with him. I just think when it came down to the portion of the fight where he was trying to get Ruiz out of there instead of resetting and saying, okay, maybe this guy isn't as hurt as I think he is. I think he probably fell into that slump of, okay, I got a chance to stop him. I can put on a good performance and the fans are going to love me for it. He came back and he realized that, hey, not screw the fans, but they're just going to have to accept me winning this way, this particular time. And I'll let the knockouts come to me how they're supposed to come to me, by me boxing and setting myself up for success with the knockout instead of forcing my success. And I just think that's what he did in the second fight. I'm sure if he would have an opportunity to stop Ruiz the second fight, he would have took it. But he didn't see one, so he won by boxing him. So what? You get the dub.
Smart.
Hey, go ahead, fight doctor.
Bar fight doctor, go ahead. Oh, he dropped bar fight doctor. He dropped he like
Where you at? Come back, bro.
bar.
He might have got
I think fight doctor want to see, he want to see somebody. He more WWE. He want to see somebody get hit with a fold out there. You know what I'm saying?
Fight doctor, you want to see a ladder match?
Hey, look, man.
You want to see a ladder match?
Yo, fight doctor want to see somebody bust a bill bottle over a table and
Bar fight doctor for real. Bar fight doctor for real. Damn, where he at? Where you at, fight doctor? Where he at? Where he at?
Look, he crazy, bro. I don't believe he said that, bro.
Hey, look, man. Hey, it's nice talking to you guys, man.
100.
I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, bro.
100.
Again, man, I'm excited for Undisputed. I'm excited, most importantly, to see Tyson Fury actually defend one of these titles that he's picked up. He's held all 4 of them. If you want to count the ring, he's held all 5 of these things. I just want to see this guy actually defend it, and there's no better way to defend a title by fighting Anthony Joshua to become the undisputed champion. I don't have to say much about Anthony Joshua. He's been a stand-up guy his entire career. He's done everything the right way. So look, this is gonna be a great fight. And I'm curious to see where they're going to have it at. And if it's somewhere where I can travel, you best rest assured that I will put in vacation to absolutely see this fight. But as in Saudi Arabia, I'm not going to make it because my money don't stretch that long. So
I hear you, Phil.
So, hey, appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Now, Phil, you need to take that trip to Dubai.
It might be.
Hey, maybe one day, but yeah, not right now. But man, y'all take care. Y'all take care.
Much appreciation. That was the Phil Walker, aka Big Texas.
Peace,
and good to have Phil drop in and share his thoughts and observations. So much appreciation goes out to the Phil Walker. But we're bringing the show to a close, but I want to hear this cat here. Lend me your ears. Who is he? Who is he?
It is the Red Glove Militant.
OMG, you know that.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, the Red Glove Militant, my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited about this fight. And I think everybody, they made good points about, everybody's not gonna knock out everybody. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, look at Wilder. He didn't knock out everybody.
Nope.
He ended up getting not knocked out, but he ended up getting stopped himself. Yeah. So, yeah. And what I find is when you hear people say, oh, well, he fought this way. And I'm not talking about the fight doctor specifically. I'm talking about, I see people, because I don't think the fight doctor is a AJ hater. I definitely think he has his criticisms, but I don't think he's a hater. But I do notice that the haters do say things like, oh, he fought like out of respect for your channel, Raph. I'm not going to say it, but it's that famous B word.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. And it's like,
remember that.
And
remember that.
Yeah. So the reality is this: they wanted him to fight stupid because they wanted him to get fed to the Lions. And he did what he needed to do to win that rematch. I mean, and you can't tell me that he didn't, because it started with him taking off the unnecessary pounds that were kind of slowing him down. To didn't he get somebody new in his camp?
Yeah, he got some couple new trainers in as well to help.
Yeah, so I mean, he did what he had to do to win that fight. And was it the most exciting fight? If you were looking for knockouts, no. It was nice to see him show some more wrinkles in his game, though.
100%.
And seeing that gives me faith that he can actually beat Tyson Fury. It's going to be a close fight, though. I could see this fight going either way. This is really a 50-50 fight. Because I am more of an AJ fan, I'm pulling for AJ. But at the end of the day, I just want undisputed. I want an undisputed reign to come after that, and I want us to get. I want us to finally see what greatness is after so long not having it at that capacity in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, and that was the Red Glove Militant, and in comes the Lisa Bayliss. But we come to the end of the show now. We're gonna get everybody's final words before you go. Let me just have a look through the chat. Iron Kong says, sorry, Raph, I had to dash out. Not at all. Always a pleasure to have you on. But of course, everybody got to do what they got to do. Everybody's got their things they got to do. Okay, so yes, so much appreciation to everyone. Stick around, guys, on the panel. I want your final words. AJ fought like a professional in the second fight, absolutement. Okay, and so yeah, we've had the Red Glove Militant. Now let me hear Jalik, your final words, please.
Thanks for having me on. Shout out to Raphael, Deontay Wilder's biggest fan. Channel. It's good to agree to disagree. Hopefully we get to see the fight. I consider myself an optimistic person, but it's like, okay, man, like what is going to happen? Are they going to have it next year? 2022? Or what's the deal? Because every day is like a new drama. So hopefully the fight get made, because it's actually a good. Because some fights can be undisputed, but you know who really gonna win. Like Crawford versus I forget the name, the African guy. It's like, okay, he probably won't lose, but this like, bro, every day because I can see both of them winning. That's why I'm not making my pick into the weigh-in, because the weight, like they saying in the chat. And the weight makes a difference with AJ. It's in Tyson Fury, so I'm just looking forward to it. Hopefully, it happens. And where it's going to happen, I'm not sure. And yeah, it remains to be seen. It remains to be seen.
It remains to be seen, but you're looking forward to it, as we are all looking forward.
Yeah,
looking forward to finally getting it on. And absolutely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, hit all the good buttons. And if you hear the show after it goes live, don't worry, you can still show your appreciation via the PayPal button. Don't be afraid to leave Rafi a cup of tea. It's much appreciated. Okay, so we've had the Red Glove Militant, we've had the Jalik the Leader, and now the final words of Lisa Bales. Lisa, glad to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to the Undisputed Showdown. It's gonna be a major event, and may the best man win. We'll have a finally,
you undisputed,
undisputed heavyweight champion that we haven't had in so long.
So long.
And Raphael, before I go, if AJ lose, don't shut your channel down. Don't make no excuses, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Don't make no excuses, please. Seriously, man, don't make no excuses, and don't.
Hey, I've got a shocking revelation. I've got a shocking revelation for you, Jalik. I've got a shocking revelation for you. Guess what? AJ already done lost the foul.
All right, don't make no excuses if you lose, man. Come on.
Hey, bro, it's happened before, bro. It's happened before. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna crumble. We didn't crumble like we didn't crumble like the Wildettes. Huh?
Only one It's only one heavyweight that retired undefeated, and that was Marciano.
Yeah, that's Rocky Marciano.
So far,
you know, wins and losses. Red Glove Militant, wins and losses. It's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've been here since before AJ lost, and I could tell you I can testify that the channel survived the first loss. You know, it was a rough 6 months, but he weathered the storm. So if he loses again, I think Raph's channel will still be here. I think Raph will be just fine.
Raph will be just fine. Raph will be bigger and badder and blacker. How you like that? Okay, so Rafi just keep on rising. Rafi rise like the cream on top of your Irish coffee. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, it's been fun. It's been a great time. It's been great entertainment. Respect to all, peace to all, and blessings to all. This has been another installment of the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio Boxing Talk with Rafi, with the Iron Kong, with the Lisa Bales, with the Red Glove Militant, with the Jalik the Leader, with the Fight Doctor, with the Phil Walker, the cast of many. The night of the stars. I should retitle the show the night of the stars. Okay, guys, much appreciation. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, hit all of the good buttons. And it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it's the hitting the bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And I think I may have just said that twice, but it's all right. It's Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio. We'll be back, if not tomorrow, then the day after, or probably tomorrow and the day after. Blessed.